useless man. You just sitting there like a statue, eat all day. Look at you, Kofi. You're not a man anymore. You're just a burden to me. I am tired of taking care of you, useless man. This isn't the man I...
Imagine giving your whole heart to someone, only to find out you were nothing more than a convenience, a luxury they could toss aside the moment life stopped being perfect. That was Kofi's fate, a wealthy man brought to his knees not by poverty but by love gone wrong. After a life-changing accident, the woman he trusted began to show her true colors, and what he discovered nearly destroyed him. But in the darkest moment, an unexpected light began to shine. How did a quiet maid become the one person who truly saw him? And how far would love go when tested by lies, pain, and betrayal? This isn't just a love story. It's a test of loyalty, a journey of heartbreak, and a tale of second chances. Sit back, relax, and prepare yourself, because what happens next will leave you questioning everything. Kofi Mansa was the kind of man stories were written about. At just 36, he had everything: a mansion in the hills of Accra, cars worth more than most people's life savings, and a chain of successful companies. To the world, he was a golden man. He smiled in interviews, hosted charity galas, and trended for giving out cars to random fans. But behind all the glitz, Kofi was a lonely man. He had tasted the world's finest wines, flown across oceans in private jets, yet there was a hole in his heart no amount of money could fill. What he truly wanted was someone who loved him without the price tag. He had dated models, influencers, and even a senator's daughter, but all of them had something in common. They fell in love with his bank account, not his soul. And every time a woman walked away when things got tough, his heart built another wall. Until he met Amma. Amma was different, or so he thought. She was beautiful, confident, and full of life. She didn't hesitate to speak her mind. She laughed loudly, danced in restaurants, and made Kofi feel alive again. For the first time in years, he didn't feel like Kofi the billionaire. He just felt like Kofi. Within weeks, they were inseparable. They went to Zanzibar for her birthday. She cried when he surprised her with a gold necklace. She posted pictures calling him her forever king. Kofi was happy, or maybe he wanted to be, because slowly the cracks began to show. Amma loved expensive things, designer bags, fine dining, spa treatments every other day. She would spend ₦500,000 on shoes without blinking. Kofi didn't mind at first. After all, he had money to burn. But it wasn't just about taste. Amma treated money like air, something she couldn't live without. He started noticing how she reacted when he talked about charity work. "Why are you always giving money to poor people?" she would ask, rolling her eyes. "Let the government help them. You're not their savior." It unsettled him, but he ignored the signs. Then his friends stepped in. One evening, Kofi sat with his two closest friends, Kwame and Delali. They'd known each other since secondary school, before the money, before the fame. "Bro," Kwame said carefully, "this girl, you sure she's with you for you?" Delali added, "She treats you like a cash machine. You're always giving. What does she give you?" Kofi sighed. He wanted to believe Amma loved him, but his friends planted a seed of doubt that refused to leave. And that's when they came up with a plan to test her love. The plan was risky. Kofi would disappear for 2 days. Then news would reach Amma. Kofi was involved in a terrible car accident. The story was that he'd survived, but barely. The doctor would say he was now paralyzed from the waist down. He would never walk again. Kofi agreed to go all in. He moved into a different house, one designed to look like a recovery center. He hired a fake doctor. The only people who knew the truth were his friends, his lawyer, manager, and the maid, Mansa. He hadn't noticed Mansa before. She had been with him for a year, quiet, kind, and always present, but never in the way. But now she became a key part of the plan. She would help him move, change his clothes, and prepare his meals. And slowly, as he pretended to be weak, he noticed her patience, her gentleness, the way she spoke to him like a human being, not a wallet. But Amma began to change. At first, Amma cried. She came to the house and wept. "I'll be here for you," she said, holding his hand tightly. "Even if you can't walk, you're still my man." Kofi's heart swelled. Maybe he had been wrong, but within weeks the sweetness began to fade. She stopped showing up every day. She would sigh when helping him move. She would complain about the smell of the house. And then one night, she snapped.
Useless man! You just sitting there like a statue, eat all day. Look at you, Kofi. You're not a man anymore. You're just a burden to me. I am tired of taking care of you, useless man. This isn't the man I agreed to date. The Kofi I knew used to take me out to expensive dinners, buy me gifts, fly me to Dubai just because I was sad. Now you can't even stand up from that chair, and all you do is eat, sleep, and stare at the walls like some old furniture. I am tired of this relationship!
Kofi's heart broke, even though it was all pretend, because her cruelty was real.
I gave you everything. My heart, my trust, my world. And now that I'm broken, you speak to me like I'm worthless. I thought you loved me, not what I could give you. Please, don't leave me in this condition.
Happy hi bestie. If you enjoyed this story so far, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment where you are watching from. Enjoy! Mansa never said much, but her presence filled the room louder than any voice. She would come in early, sweep quietly, and make his meals with care. She didn't flinch when she had to lift his legs or help him bathe. She never complained when he couldn't sleep and called out for her at midnight. One day, as she was spoon-feeding him rice and stew, Kofi watched her closely. "Mansa," he asked softly, "why are you so kind to me?" She looked at him surprised. "Why not, sir? You're a good man. But I can't even walk." "That doesn't make you less of a man." Her words lingered in the air like music. Kofi swallowed hard, not just the food but the lump in his throat. No woman had ever spoken to him that way, so gently, so sincerely. Day by day, his heart shifted. He began to see Mansa, not just the maid but the woman, the softness in her eyes, the strength in her silence, the beauty in her simplicity. Meanwhile, Amma grew colder. She stopped pretending. She started coming home late. Her phone buzzed with strange messages. Kofi watched her from the shadows of his mind. Every cruel word, every slammed door, every flirtatious laugh she shared with other men cutting into him like a knife. The woman he thought he loved, the one he had wanted to build a future with, was slowly revealing a version of herself he never imagined existed. At first, he had wanted to believe she was just frustrated. Maybe she was grieving the man he used to be, the energetic, charming man who once swept her off her feet. But now, it was clear. She wasn't grieving his old self. She was mourning the lifestyle that came with him. One rainy night, Kofi sat quietly in his wheelchair near the window. The sky cried for him. Thunder rumbled like the rage in his chest. He overheard her talking on the phone. "Babe, I told you, he's useless now," she said, laughing. "He can't even climb the stairs, and his money's probably drying up too." Kofi's heart shattered again, but this time not out of sadness. It was clarity. This was the truth he needed. That night, Amma, the maid, came into the room holding a bowl of hot pepper soup. Her hands were gentle, her voice soft. She didn't speak much. She didn't need to. Her presence was calm like a balm over his wounds. "You didn't eat today, sir," she said. "I wasn't hungry," he replied, not looking at her. "You say that every day, but you always finish the soup." He smiled faintly. "Maybe I like your soup." She chuckled. "It's not the soup, sir. You just need someone to remind you that you matter." And that was it. That one line. It sat with him long after she left. When had anyone, not even friends, not even his girlfriend, told him that? Amma wasn't feeding his pride. She was feeding his soul. The next few weeks passed quietly. His girlfriend grew colder, distant. She stayed out later, sometimes didn't return home until morning. Meanwhile, Amma became the light in his dark days. She learned how he liked his tea. She wiped his face when he cried. She played old songs to make him smile. She asked about his dreams, not about his money. One evening, Kofi asked her, "Why are you so kind to me, Amma?" She looked at him confused. Isn't that what people do for those they care about? No one's done that in a long time, he said quietly. She smiled. Then they missed out on knowing you. He turned away, afraid she'd see the tears in his eyes. But the storm in the house was far from over. One afternoon, he overheard his girlfriend planning to sell some of his properties. She had found the documents in his drawer. She was speaking with a man on the phone, listing prices, talking like it was hers. That was the final straw. Kofi called his best friend, Kwame, the one who had helped him plan the fake accident. "It's time," he said. "I want to end this. I cannot take it anymore." Kwame came over with 2 men. They brought hidden cameras and planted them in the house. Kofi wanted everything documented, the lies, the cheating, the betrayal. He needed the world to see the truth, not just for himself, but for anyone who doubted that love could be tested. The next week, he told his girlfriend he wanted to see a lawyer. "To update my will," he lied. She lit up like a Christmas tree. "Really?" she said sweetly. "You should leave everything in my name. In case, anything happens." Kofi smiled. "That's a good idea." But inside, he was dying. The woman didn't even blink. Her mask had fully slipped. And yet, Amma remained constant, never asking, never expecting, just giving. The day of the big reveal finally came. Kofi had invited both the girlfriend and Amma into the living room. He sat in his wheelchair, hands folded, expression unreadable. "I have something to tell both of you," he began. "What is it, babe?" his girlfriend asked, crossing her legs and feigning concern. He stood up. Silence. Amma gasped. His girlfriend froze. Wait, you can walk?" Kofi nodded. "I always could." The girlfriend's face went pale. "So, it was a test?" "Yes," he said, stepping toward Amma. "And I failed the moment I thought you loved me." "Baby, don't baby me," he said, voice cold. "Amma took care of me. She never once treated me like I was broken. She gave me more love in silence than you ever did with all your pretty words." Tears streamed down Amma's face. Wait, the girlfriend cried. "You can't be serious. After everything I did." "You did it for yourself," he snapped. "You loved the lifestyle. You never loved me." Just then, Kwame came out with the camera footage playing on a screen in the living room. Every word, every betrayal, the phone calls, the insults, the cheating. The girlfriend fell to her knees, screaming and crying. Amma tried to walk away quietly, but Kofi stopped her. "Where are you going?" "You deserve someone better," she whispered. "I found someone better," he said, holding her hand. But just as they shared their first quiet moment, a knock came on the door. 3 men in suits stood outside. "Mr. Kofi Mansa." "Yes?" Kofi replied. One of the men handed him a letter. "You are being investigated for fraud related to your company's offshore accounts. You'll need to come with us." Amma gasped. Kofi looked down at the letter, his heart thudding. This wasn't over. This was only the beginning. Hi, bestie. Kunyafo hivi kumeshawa uruang. If you enjoyed the story so far, don't forget to like and subscribe for part 2. Comment where you are watching from and I will reply with my favorite emoji. Thank you.